Just one of the really sensible ideas in permaculture design is to look at zones, sort of areas out from you or from your house, and to design that the areas that you go to most often be closest to your house. And so when we moved here, I planned for the vegetable garden to be just beyond the back garden, which meant it would be really close to the house. It's pretty much a level walk and I'd be able to go there every day, no problem at all. But it turns out there was a bit of an issue with that space.
We've been here about 6 weeks or so now, during which time Liz has been developing this area as our temporary fruit and veg garden, mainly vegetables actually, just so that we have something that we can eat in the coming months and the early part of next year during that hungry gap.
But the thing that I found about this area, well actually there's two things. One is that Mr J calls this horsefly alley because actually there are an incredible number of horseflies here and I react really badly to those bites. So I'm not super inclined to spend a lot of time in this area. And the other issue is that this soil is very compacted, it's very stony. There were horses in here for a very long time. And that just makes everything really hard work. And so over the next 12 months, I then created the vegetable garden where it is now. Now that's not terribly useful when I'm cooking and I want to gather herbs. So not very long after we moved here, I created a 30-minute project herb garden around that side of the house. But I thought this space would be a really good place to put a herb garden. It's very close to the kitchen, so while I'm cooking, I can come out, just gather whichever herbs I want for my cooking, pop back into the kitchen. And almost as soon as I'd made it, we had heating work done and the builders dug it up. And ever since then, I haven't had any herbs terribly close to the house. But today I'm going to do something about that. This area at the front of our house has never been terribly useful. When we first moved in, there was a very tall tree here, so we've had that cut back, which allows a lot more light into the house. And this has just become, well, it's become a sort of unloved, unused area, or underused. I've got a washing line out here, but the grass area is completely wasted. So today I'm going to work out how to put a herb bed along here, really close to the kitchen, really easy to maintain, without ruining us being able to have chairs out here if we want to come and sit out with a glass of wine. We never have, but you never know, we might do one day. About a week ago, I brought this piece of wood across. It's recycled from an old stable building that was here. And I was trying to work out whether to use this and another piece to go a bit further along as the edges of a border. And I think that somewhere I've still got some decking. And I think the decking might be better. Here we go. So you can see we're on the way up towards the veg garden, which if you're in the middle of cooking and you just want to grab a few chives or some marjoram or something, it's a long way to come. You need to turn the cooker off and make everything safe before you can then walk up the hill. Now I'm pretty sure that somewhere in here we've dumped some wood on its way to the veg garden. Didn't get as far as the veg garden. Well, that's looking pretty good. There's one. There's two. What I really need is at least one more bit to do the sides. Is there another bit here amongst the stingers? Oh, it feels like I'm standing on a bit. Well, hurrah, it's got grass growing on it and stingers growing on it. Okay, well, there's the 3 bits of wood that I can use to create this raised bed with. I'm very pleased about that. Now I just need to carry them down to the house. So having brought those down, I think it's now time to have a pause and a cuppa, take some antihistamines because I've been well and truly got by some horseflies. And I'll come back out here in about 15 to 20 minutes. Yes, ever the optimist. I actually ended up being inside for about 2 hours, but here we go. So this is going to be along here, sort of thing, and I'm going to find something to put along here to edge it with. So I'm going to have some here like that, and then I just need to measure how much extra I need to cut to add on to this end to take it along a bit more. So I have cut that bit of wood to length, I've cut some small blocks, I've cut the rest of this length pretty much in half. It's not exactly in half, but it's close. And I've also been and got a couple of offcuts which I had used to join bits of wood together in the project I was doing last week with the chicken run. And I'm going to use those as joiners on this, she says, like she knows what she's talking about. I still don't know what I'm doing really, but I'm going to put these 2 lengths together, and then I'm going to attempt to join them using these lengths of wood as a joiner. So that's that on. That's, hello little red ant, what are you doing? Off you go. Which way are you going? And that will have secured those 2 together pretty well. And now I need to put some sides on it. I'm going to absolutely wedge this in there. Let's put that down like that. I'm then going to put a block in here to fix the side and the length together. Right, here we go for the second screw. Trying not to upset the ants. Okay, so I think that's going to be fairly stable now. Screw there. Right, now I'll do the bottom one. I didn't have sufficient bags of compost to fill this bed, so yesterday afternoon we went to the local garden centre and I bought some more compost, and I bought some lavenders to go in this bed as well. And then this morning I have put a piece of wood back here. Well, actually it's 3 pieces of wood that I've screwed together and then fixed at each end to give me a narrow-ish bed. I may well extend it. There is still some space at the sides that I could move this further back, but right now I'm going to stick with this. And now I get to do the really fun bit, which is to plant some herbs in the bed. So I've put in the 4 lavenders that I bought. I've evenly spaced those across the bed. And I've had some herb plants just sitting in pots waiting to be planted. There's a little feverfew here. There's some rosemary. It's a horizontal one, so it will spread out and cascade down over the edge. There's some basil. It's just a pot of basil that I bought at the supermarket. Split it into 2 rather than lots of little plants. I've just done 2 clumps. And then, oh, that smells nice. And there's some marjoram here, which I lifted quite a long time ago from the veg garden. The poor thing has been sitting around and desperately needing to get into the ground. So now that's in. I've been up to the veg garden and I've lifted some thyme. So I've pulled bits of plants out, and where the stems were touching the ground, they have in fact rooted. So I've got them in some water. They're currently sitting in this tiny tray of water. I'm just trying to ensure that the little fibrous roots are damp and have got some moisture at the roots. Let's put that there. But I've got 2 different thymes. So this is a variegated thyme with a little pink flower, and there's a few bits here with some small roots, and then there's quite a lot of woody and dead material. But maybe it's got some bits growing from it, and I don't know whether they will survive or not. But I'm going to plant all of that clump with its roots and hope that that will pick up again. So I'm planting the roots quite well. It's not looking terribly attractive like this, but the idea is to establish a good root system, and then that will allow it to grow away, she says, hopefully. We've got a very, very noisy, it's a swallow. We have several families of swallows living here. And that one likes to sit up on a wire up there. Sing its heart out. I've also got this very, very pretty variegated thyme, which have got very woody. But I have got a few roots on that. Are they definitely moist? And again, I want to make sure that the roots are damp and not going to dry out. There you go. And again, I'm planting it quite deeply, so quite a lot of the woody material is going to have compost on it, because it may root, which will help to feed the plant, help it take up more moisture. There we go. So now I've got 2 thymes, and now I just need to give them some time. Every pun intended. The other thing I have to go in here is some rosemary. Now, I took these rosemary cuttings earlier in the year. An awful lot of stems here that are absolutely ripe for taking cuttings. So that's what I'm going to do today. I've got a pair of secateurs, and I'm going to take actually quite a few cuttings. So I've now filled a container with compost. Now you could use bought-in compost. I'm quite happy with the compost in this bed. And my next step is to actually get the rosemary into there. So what I want to do is remove most of the lower leaves. I can do that by gently holding at the top and running my hand down. So I'm not gripping hugely tightly there, just enough to allow those to come away. And there is pretty much a perfect cutting. So you're looking to have it cut a little below a leaf node. So that's the bit where the leaves or a new stem comes away from the branch. Calling it a branch is a bit dramatic, but a new stem comes away from the upright stem. And I'm just pushing that in gently and then firming the soil a little bit around it so there is good contact. And I'm just going to repeat that process. Take the lower leaves off. And push it in. If you feel the stem bend as you push it in, you're not really going to be able to use that cutting. You'll need to take that back out and recut it at the point where it bent, or just above the point where it bent, because the damaged stem is not going to do so well and it's susceptible to infection. Now I know lots of people like to take rosemary cuttings that are maybe only 4 inches long, that's 10 centimetres. I like to do these really long cuttings so that roots can form at each of these leaf nodes, and you're going to get a stronger, healthier plant. I'm putting the cuttings in around the outside edge of the pot rather than in the centre, because apparently it is warmer around the outside than in the centre. I don't really understand the physics of that. So it needs watering, it needs putting outside, somewhere sheltered, somewhere where it's not going to get burnt in the sun, but it's also not really dark. So I'm going to put it near the end of the polytunnel. So I'm giving it a really good water and I'm going to allow that to soak through. And this will settle the soil right against the stems. I've just found an extra 2 cuttings that I dropped, so I've actually put those in the middle, despite having said they're better off not being in the middle. They're going to go in the middle because there's no space for them around the outside. And by the look of the roots coming out of the bottom, although of course they could be roots from weeds that were in this pot, but I think they've done quite well. So let's break this off. Now what I'm actually going to do to show you how this is done is I'm going to take a lot of the soil off it. I wouldn't recommend this, but I want you to be able to see how the roots have got on. So that's quite a lot of roots. And so these are just free plants. Again, it's a really hot day. I don't want to stress the plant unnecessarily. I'm going to wait until later in the day to plant these out. But I have got these and I'm going to put those along the back. I've given the bed a good watering on a low water pressure for a longer period of time to allow the water to soak into the soil rather than just run off. So I'm really pleased. 1 weekend and a new herb bed. If you're interested in creating a herb bed and you'd like to find out some of my favourite herbs, well, I've made a video, and so I'll leave a link on the screen and in the video description. And if you just click on that link, it'll take you straight through to the video. And so, wherever you are in the world and whatever you've got planned for today, I hope it's a good one. And I also hope you'll join me again next time.